Ayan, that is for number 1, no? Repeat, ulitin ko lang, para kasama siya sa recording natin. For example number 1, if we are to add two functions, f and g, you have to use their function. So function f is defined as 5x plus 1. Function g is defined as x squared minus 9. And since our operation is addition, you can just omit the parentheses. So from there, we have this line, and combining similar terms will give us our final solution, x squared plus 5x minus 9. And then for 2.2, example 2.2, this time we have the difference. So f minus f. F is being defined as 5x minus 1. Okay, and our L here is x squared minus 6x plus 9. Unlike the addition, no, we cannot just omit the parentheses. Okay, we have to subtract L from F. So meaning subtraction, before omitting the parentheses, be sure to distribute the negative sign for each of the element of L. I repeat, if we are dealing with subtraction, you have to distribute the negative sign for each term ng ating function L. So from here, okay tayo kay 5x plus 1, there's no need or we can just omit the parentheses. But for this, distribute natin si negative. So negative times x squared is negative x squared. Negative, negative, we have positive, and negative, positive is negative. Okay. And then we can now combine similar terms. This will give us negative x squared plus 11x minus 8. Okay, I can consider this solution. Pero if you want to make your x a positive one, pwede nyo baliktarin yung mga signs naman. Na wala rin problema sa akin. So we have negative 11x plus 8. These are just equal. So I'll be considering both of the solution. Okay. And example number 3. If you have questions, no, just say something so that I can recognize. I could recognize. So example number 3. This time we have multiplication. When multiplying algebraic expressions, doon natin may apply yung distributive property. Now if you are to multiply monomial to a polynomial, we have to distribute the monomial for every term of the polynomial. Okay, and if we are to multiply binomial to binomial, that is when you are to use the FOIL method. First, outer, inner, the last term. And for polynomial to polynomial naman, you have again to distribute every term of your first factor to every term of the second factor. So bali distributive din siya. So for this case, we have L defined by the function x squared minus 6x plus 9, and then we have the function m as x plus 1. So we have to distribute every term of L to every term of m. Tama. I repeat, we have to distribute every term of L to every term of m. So for example, we have this first term, x squared. X squared will be distributed to x, giving us x squared times x, we have x cubed. X squared times 11, we have 11x squared. And then we go now to the second term, we have negative 6. Distribute ulit natin. Negative 6 times x, we have negative 6x squared. Negative 6 times 11, we have 66x. And Lastly, last term natin, 9 times x is 9x, 9 times 11 is 19. And then combining similar terms, we have now our solution, x cubed plus 5x squared minus 57x plus 59. Okay. Any question? Raise lang kayo, no? Next, division tayo. Division naman, when we are to divide function, you have to examine your numerator and denominator. You have to identify whether a common factor exists. Now, to do that, first, you have to factor your numerator or denominator, if possible. So you may want to review your factoring skills in this operation, the division of functions. So our g is defined as x squared minus 9, and our k is defined as x minus 3. No? Kapag ito lang yung given natin, we cannot identify clearly what is the common factor. But if we were to factor x squared minus 9, yan, magiging malinaw na siya. We can clearly see that the common factor between our numerator and denominator is x minus 3, which we can cancel. X minus 3 over x minus 3 is 1. And any number multiplied by 1 is the number itself, x plus 3. Okay. So, ganun lang yung operations natin. Now, let's go to... question muna. Question.
Answer.
Okay, malinaw, no? We are clear with our operations. Next. Aside from the basic operations, we can also apply compositions on function. So, given two functions f and g, the composition of f with g denoted by circle or being read as f circle g is defined by the equation f circle g of x is just equivalent to f of g of x, wherein f is considered to be the dependent function and g is considered to be the independent function. If we were to go back to how we evaluate function, no, we are to let specific value of x, and then this value will be substituted for every x variable from our function. This time, instead of a specific value of x, we'll be using a certain function to replace our variable x. Now, in this case, we'll be using the function of g of x to replace every x variable of our function f. Okay, malinaw yun. Now, let's try to have or apply this with our examples. Number 1, or example 2.5. So find the composition of f with g when f of x is defined as 5x minus 3 and g of x is 3 minus 2x. So we are looking for f circle g. F circle g is f with g is the same as f circle g of x. So in symbol, ito siya. Or another symbol, we have f of g of x, meaning we'll be using the function g to replace every x variable of f. Okay? So, symbol, ito yon. Instead of a certain value of x, we have a function. So, ang f natin is defined as 5x minus 3. Yung x natin dito will be replaced by 3 minus 2x. That's why we have this line. Okay? We have this line. And then, applying the basic algebra by the distributive property, we have this line, 15 minus 10x minus 3 Then combining similar terms, we have 12 minus 10x. Okay lang din na magkabaligtad to. As long as susunod yung sign nila. So, negative 10x plus, okay, or 10x minus. Any of these three solutions will be considered. Okay. Now, try natin baliktad, no? Let's try to find the other way around. Yung same solution lang yung makukuha natin. Let's try G circle F or G of F of X. This time you will be using the function f to replace every x variable in G. So our G here is 3x minus 2 at 3 minus 2x, no? Natin. And then yung x natin gagawin natin 5x minus 2. Tapos yung x natin ng 5x minus 3. So we have this line. And then basic algebra, we have 3 minus 10x plus 6. Okay. Then combining similar terms will give us 9 minus 10. Goes to show that pag binaliktad natin yung order ng f and g sa ating solution, we'll be getting a different solution. So be careful, no? You have to be careful kung sino yung mauuna or kung sino yung dependent and independent variable. Okay, next. Given the functions h and g, find h circle g and g circle h. Let's try the first one. So h of g of x, we'll be using the function of t to replace every x variable in h. So yeah, we have this line. Since our h is defined as 3x squared plus 6x minus 4. Okay, yung x natin magiging g. Okay, wherein g is defined as negative 3x plus 4. And then we can now apply algebra sa square. Square tayo dito, no? Meaning we have to multiply this binomial to itself. So doing that will lead us to this expression. Negative 3x plus 4 times negative 3x plus 4. Or you can just use the FOIL method. Or in shortcut, bigay ko yung shortcut sa inyo, squaring a binomial is equivalent to the square of the first term. Square of the first term, ito yun, 9x squared. And then square ng last term is 4, is 16. Okay? And then yung negative 24 dito, makukuha natin by multiplying or by twice the product of the first term and the last term of the binomial. I repeat, the middle term of our product is twice the product of the first term and the second term, the binomial. So negative 3x times 4 is negative 12x, no? Times 2 will give us negative 24x. So yun. And then distributive property then from here, distribute natin 6. So we have this. And then distributing 3 here will give us 3 times 9 is 27, 3 times negative 24 is 72, 8 times 16 is 48. Then copy natin si negative 18. 24 minus 4 is 20. Combining similar terms. Similar terms are negative 72x and negative 18x. And then 48, 20. That's why we have 27x squared minus 90x plus 68. Question. And then we have the other one, yung kabaliktaran niya. Okay. Next. G circle H. So the function H will replace every x variable in G. So our G is negative 3x plus 4, no? Negative 3x plus 4. So yung x natin dito, pinilitan natin ng H, which is 3x squared plus 6x minus 4. By distribution, we have negative 9x squared minus 10 as 18x plus 12 plus 4. By similar terms, we have negative 9x squared minus 18x plus 16. Okay, next, on the board. Sino gusto mag-solve on the board? Okay, next, given the following function, 5x minus 7 and x plus 7 over 5, find G circle, F circle G and G circle F. So ito yung solution natin. F of G of x will be using the function G to replace every x variable in F. So we have this line. 5x minus 7, x this time is x plus 7 over 5. And then, ayan. Apply nyo lang yung multiplication of fractions. From here, you can, since pareho yung ating multiplier dito and yung denominator natin, ma-cancel na yun. 5 over 5 is just 1. And 1 times any number is the number itself. Kaya we have this. X plus 7 na lang natira. And then we have minus 7. Copy na lang, minus 7. So our solution for this one is just, or simply, x. And then yung kabila naman, G circle F, it's so happen na equal yung solution naman. Pero not always. Nagkataon lang to na pareho. So doing that, we'll be replacing x from x plus 7 over 5 by 5x minus 7. So, basic algebra ulit, negative 7 plus 7 is 0. We have 5x over 5. Over 5 is 1 times x is simply x. And that's it. That ends our discussion. Any question?
Wala, sir.
Ano kayo, ha? I'll be posting your exercise number 2 on our Google Classroom. To give you an overview, ito yan. So given these functions, we have to solve for the following. Number 1, h minus g of x. And then kung mapapansin nyo rin, we have a specific value of x dito. To do this, you have to perform first the operation, and the result will be evaluated at specific value of x. Specific value of x. So kunin nyo muna yung difference between f and m, and then yung result na yon i-evaluate nyo at 5. The same goes with this. And then the second, ayan naman, okay, composition. Solve for the composition of functions given the following functions. So ganun din, no? After apply the composition of functions for number 5 and number 6. I-evaluate yung result at specific value of x. Let's say 5 and 6 for number 4 and 5. Okay? Okay. No more question. Let's proceed